I would be thankful if you subscribe, preferably to my channel. Not only do you make my day, but you also know when the next video arrives, so you can have another cozy moment very soon. Among the most mysterious and intriguing elements of EVE lore are the ancient Talocan civilization and the enigmatic Jovians. I've made a Jovian video before, so on this I will just briefly talk about it. But to fully understand the significance of these two powers, we must first dive deep into the dark ages of New Eden. This is an era marked by collapse of advanced societies, enigmatic technological prowess, and the rise of new empires in the wake of destruction. For more details of this event, guide yourself to my EVE Gate and the Dark Ages video, but I will give you the idea in this video as well. Now, to appreciate the events that followed, it's essential to understand that New Eden was once connected to the greater galaxy. This was through a colossal construct known as the EVE Gate. These gates allowed humanity to travel from Earth to the New Eden cluster. This made humanity be able to establish colonies and expanding their technological reach. Now, however, roughly 16,000 years ago, the EVE Gate collapsed, cutting off all communication and supply lines between New Eden and the rest of humanity. This event plunged the various colonies into chaos, and many collapsed under the weight of their own isolation. Over the centuries, this led to what is commonly referred to as the Dark Ages, an epoch in which technology regressed and these countless civilizations either perished or devolved into primitive states. It is during this period that two civilizations of great interest, the Talocan and the Jovians, rose to prominence. Each had their own path, and each had their own destinies. The Talocans might be the most enigmatic of the ancient civilizations, with the remnants of their once great empire scattered throughout New Eden. To this day, we know very little about the origin or society, but what remains of their technology speaks volumes about their expertise in spatial manipulations and, of course, wormhole navigation. Talocans are thought to have been a nomadic people, constantly traversing the stars, perhaps using wormholes as highways for their advanced fleets. Now, this nomadism may have extended beyond more than spacefaring. It is suggested that they lived and thrived in environments inhospitable to other civilizations. Some have theorized that their lifestyle was highly decentralized, with perhaps no central government or unified empire, and that they instead operated as a series of interlinked communities or fleets, kinda like ants or bees. They kinda have a queen, so not really. The Talocan were often regarded as wanderers of space, navigating the most dangerous and remote regions of the cosmos with their advanced manipulation technology. However, there is no direct record of their language or their social structure, but we can imagine by the clues that we find. Their technology, often found in ruins within the wormhole, suggested that the Talocan had mastered a form of travel that were far beyond anything that the modern empires have achieved. Structures left behind, like the Talocan static gate, indicate that they had capability to manipulate space-time, allowing for rapid transit across vast distances. I want to mention some notable Talocan technologies and structures. The Talocan static gate. Now, these ancient structures are believed to have been used for interstellar travel. Unlike stargates used by modern factions, these gates might have utilized or manipulated wormholes, allowing them for transit between different systems. We also have the Talocan ruins that are found scattered throughout wormhole space. These ruins often contain traces of spatial manipulation technology, and the exact function of these structures remains unclear, but they are a subject of fascination for researchers and other explorers. we also find the Talocan relic sites within the wormholes. Here is where fragments of their technology can be scavenged and reverse engineered by modern capsuleers. These sites give us tantalizing glimpses into their technological capabilities, but they do reveal very little about the people themselves, but I bet that they like their vacations. Now, some historians speculate that the Talocans were not merely travelers but could have been explorers or even conquerors in their time, and with that, expanding their influence across New Eden. There are even theories that suggest that Talocans may have had contact with other ancient empires, such as the Sleepers, or maybe even the Jovians. Though evidence of this remains elusive, we do know that the Dark Ages proved to be a time of decline for the Talocan civilization. Though their technology was far more advanced than many of the civilizations that would come to power later, the collapse of the Eve Gate likely had a profound effect on them. This seems to be due to the Talocans were deeply reliant on their ability to travel through space, and this sudden isolation caused by the gate's collapse disrupted their way of life. Yet again, we do not know for sure, but there are several competing theories about what led to their disappearance. We have the natural decline, and that is that the Talocan might have simply reached a natural end to their civilization, much like the Jovians that eventually succumbed to their genetic disease. Given the Talocans' nomadic and decentralized nature, it is possible that they slowly dwindled and lost cohesion over time. This is, in my opinion, less likely. What's more likely is the technological overreach. Some people believe that the Talocan may have fallen victim to their own technological ambition. Their manipulation of space-time and wormholes could have backfired, leading to catastrophic events that wiped out large part of their civilization. Some ruins found in wormholes suggest that entire Talocan fleets or colonies were wiped out. This was in what might have been dangerous experiments with wormhole technology. I mean, it is possible that they had too many fingers in the Eve Gate after all. Then, of course, there is the war and the conflict. There are theories that the Talocan might have been involved in conflicts with other ancient civilizations such as the Sleepers or even external invaders. The lack of significant military relics or signs of large-scale battles make this theory harder to support, but it is a possibility. Another possibility that I would think is not too far-fetched is exodus or ascension. This is the belief that the Talocan, with their highly advanced spatial manipulation technology, might not have been destroyed after all. Instead, they could have simply left New Eden, moving to another region of space or even another dimension. This theory, while speculative to some, is intriguing because it would explain a lot why so few Talocan remains or records exist today. While the Talocan faded into obscurity during the Dark Ages, the Jovian took a different path. The Jovians were one of the original human colonies to survive the collapse of the Eve Gate. However, their story is not one of simple survival, but rather one of transformation. The Jovians are perhaps the most enigmatic of the four ancient races in New Eden, and I know I said that about the Talocan too, but they are also very enigmatic. During the Dark Ages, they did not simply endure, but continued to advance their technology far beyond anything other civilizations could achieve. However, their success came at this great cost, the Jovian disease. So the Jovians are believed to have been descendants of one of the first human colonies established in New Eden, perhaps seeded directly by the Terrans before the collapse of the Eve Gate. And as the Dark Ages set in and the Eve Gate ceased to function, the Jovian turned inwards, focusing their effort on technological advancements and genetic engineering. Unlike the Talocan, who remained nomadic, the Jovians built a stable and highly advanced society. Jovian technology, particularly in the fields of bioengineering and cybernetics, soon outpaced anything known in New Eden. They became masters of genetic manipulations, and over time, the Jovians began to fundamentally alter their biology. This was in an attempt to achieve immortality, or at least extend their lifespan significantly. Now, this manipulation on their own genome had unintended consequences. The Jovian began to suffer from what became known as the Jovian disease, a mysterious and incurable alignment that attacked their central nervous system. This disease manifests as a severe depression and emotional instability, often leading to suicide or complete mental breakdowns. Despite this technological prowess, the Jovians were never able to cure this disease. While the rest of New Eden's civilization regressed into more primitive states, the Jovians maintained a cautious distance. Their territory was isolated and fiercely guarded, as they rarely interacted with the rest of the galaxy. However, when they did intervene, it was often with decisive and overwhelming force. The Jovians also had their own political struggles, and despite their advanced technology and knowledge, the Jovians faded a slow, inevitable decline due to their genetic affliction. The population dwindled and entire colonies were abandoned as this disease ravaged the society. In some ways, the Jovians were much of a victim to the Dark Ages as any other civilizations, though their collapse was slower and perhaps more drawn out. Despite this, the Jovians were still able to play a significant role in the future of New Eden, particularly in their interaction with the empires that would later rise, such as the Amar, the Kaldari, the Galente, and the Minmatar. There is no definitive evidence of direct interaction between the Talocans and the Jovians, but both civilizations had a lasting impact on the development of New Eden. The Talocans' mastery of manipulation technology continues to be studied and utilized in the form of wormhole exploration and engineering, while the Jovians with their advanced biotechnology were a formidable presence that shaped the political and the technological landscape of the galaxy. In particular, the Jovians were instrumental to the founding of Concord, the interstellar peacekeeping organization, and they were known to provide advanced technology to the major empires when it suited their purposes. However, their involvement always came with an air of mystery, and their true motivations remains a subject of speculation. So the Talocan and the Jovians represent two vastly different paths taken by human civilization. Both civilizations have left big marks on New Eden, influencing the course of history even as they faded from prominence. As capsuleers continued to explore the farthest reaches of space, the secrets of the Talocan and the Jovians may yet to be uncovered, but it offers new insights into the long-forgotten dark ages of New Eden. If you enjoyed this, then leave a like and tell me in the comments what other lore you would like me to do. And I see you guys again.